Hello there and welcome to Black Jackal Gaming. We're going to take a look at the Culexus Assassin, who's part of the Agents of Imperium Index for 10th edition. Now the Assassin, like a lot of the other Assassins, comes with a lot of really good core abilities tied to their datasheet. There's lots of really good keywords attached to all their weapons, so he's actually quite useful in different situations. He also comes with some great anti-Psyker capabilities, and this is helpfully topped off by having durability buff against psychic attacks. He's got a nice aura ability where he can worsen leadership of enemy units around him, and once a game he's got the ability to cause battle shock to all units within 6 inches of him. Taking a look at his datasheet, he comes in at 85 points, and he is an epic hero model, so you can only take one of him per army. For his profile, he comes with a movement characteristic of 7 inches, he's toughness 4, 6 up save, 4 wounds, leadership 6 and 1 objective control. He also comes with a 4 up and vulnerable save. He comes with a couple of really good keywords, the first being deep strike, so he can, after first turn, deep strike anywhere on the board outside of 9 inches of an enemy unit. Lone operative, which stops units from targeting him with range attacks from outside of 12 inches. And the stealth keyword, which gives you -1 to be hit for all range weapons, which is a really nice little buff for him. For his range profile, he comes in at ballistic skill 2. And he's equipped with the Animus Speculum, which comes with the assault keyword, which allows him to advance and still shoot. Anti-Psyker 2+, which allows him to always wound Psyker units on a 2+. Precision, so he can target characters that are leading a unit, and Psychic Assassin, which is a different ability all by itself. The Animus Speculum comes with a 24-inch range, 3 attacks, strength 5, -2 AP, and D3 damage. Now the Psychic Assassin ability attached to the weapon, what this does is when you're targeting Psykers, instead of being 3 attacks for this weapon, you are then 6 attacks, which is a nice little buff when targeting Psykers. For his melee profile, he comes in at weapon skill 2+, and he's equipped with the life draining touch, which again has the precision keyword, anti-psyker 2+, and this time devastating wounds, so critical wound rolls will result in a wound that bypasses the save throw and goes straight onto damage onto the model. The life draining touch comes with 4 attacks, strength 4, -2 AP and 2 damage. Taking a look at his abilities, he comes with 2, the first being Abomination. This grants the model a feel no pain of 2+ against psychic attacks, so any psychic models or units will have a lot of issues trying to push through and damage this model with his 4 up save and having a 2 up feel no pain against any of their attacks. His other ability is called Soulless Horror, and this is an aura and it has 2 parts to it. The first is of which when the enemy units within 6 inches of this model, their leadership characteristic will be reduced by 1. So if they have a characteristic of 5, it will then go to 6. Now if this unit is a Psyker, it will be reduced by 2 instead, so any leaderships of 5 will be pushed up to 7. The second part of this ability allows him once a game, and this is in the command phase, you can select for this ability to go off, and all enemy units within 6 inches of this model, they must take a battle shock test, and that will include the -1 to their leadership. So what buffs and combos are available for the Culexus Assassin? Now there's no direct buffs from within the Agents of Imperium Index. This is either through any of the leaders, as they cannot join them. None of the units give buffs or auras to things such as increased AP or reroll hits if they target the same unit. And there's no detachment rule or army rule, so you don't get any war gear or stratagems to go along with it either. They can be taken as allies for Imperium armies, however, a lot of the buffs in these codexes and indexes, they are locked to the faction. So any of the war gear stratagems or rules are locked to faction keywords, which they do not have. And all the abilities included on data sheets are also locked to faction and keywords. So if you have something that gives a +1 to hit if they target the same unit, this is locked to the faction keywords. You cannot gain these buffs. Like a lot of the other assassins, the lone operative ability really allows him to be mainly used to score victory points. He can push on to objectives early game or carry out actions such as deploy teleport homers. It's especially hard to target this guy as you cannot target him within 12, if you're more than 12 inches away. And if you're within those 12 inches, you're -1 to hit for your ranged attacks. So it's very hard to target and kill this guy. Now, the Soulless Horror ability is not the strongest of abilities in the game, however it does have some play within it. If you do go second, you do score your primary points at the end of your turn, so you can easily put him onto an objective and then use his ability to force a battle shock at -1 or -2 to the leadership, which can cause them to fail, which then allows you to take the objective. You can also do this earlier on in the game, especially if you have other units available that can help contest the objective. Now, the ability to stop stratagems allows you to target key units once a game. If you need a unit that has to be taken care of, has to be taken off of an objective, then you can push him into the zone and force either a battle shock via his ability or another ability, and that -1 or 2 to leadership will really affect their ability to pass the test. And if they can't pass the test, well, then they're 0 objective control and they cannot use stratagems. Finally, the Psyker buffs are quite niche for him. Psykers don't play that large part in the game at the moment. They have suffered with 10th edition coming along. The way that Psykers now operate is completely different to 9th edition. There has been a lot of changes and nerfs to them where a lot of the psychic attacks and buffs have now become abilities rather than psychic powers, and the psychic powers are now range attack, which largely don't do as much damage as they did in 9th, so you don't see as many of them currently. But this can change with future codexes being released, which might bring them back into the game. There's also certain mission packs and essentially DLC for 10th edition that's going to come out that can change this dramatically in the future. So as you can see throughout the video, his damage output is not that great unless he is targeting a psychic unit. Now, it is important to remember that if a psychic leader joins a unit, that unit will get the psychic keyword as well, so he will get to win them on 2+, which is nice. But there's not an awful lot of them in the game at the moment, so he's mainly going to be an action monkey and a victory point monkey, like a lot of the other assassins are. His abilities allow him to drop into the game and not be targeted, pushing into your enemy deployment zone to score things such as behind enemy lines. He can do actions for teleport homers, he can contest board area for engage on all front, and more importantly, he can hold on to objectives by not being targeted with that lone operative. So it's a really good model to have. He's not quite as good as the other ones, and he is quite pricey at 85 points. The Culexus probably is still the best option available. However, she is more expensive as well. If you want to support the channel, there are memberships available. I will be starting a Patreon at some point, which will have extra goodies attached to it, such as potential STLs for objective markers that will be free for you to access. Or you can just like or subscribe to the channel. Check out these other videos available, and I'll see you next time.